but that's okay. So
that's okay. You just like made me sound way cooler than I really am. So I hope to not like disappoint anybody on this call.
No, that is not true, because every time I find something more out about you, I'm like, oh my gosh, mind blowing. But yeah, go ahead and take it away. So we are ready for you, and thank you for doing this.
So yeah, well, first of all, thank you guys for showing up for your business and for yourself. That's the most important part, is that you make this commitment to yourself that you're going to continue to show up and grow and learn. And part of what we're going to talk about tonight is one of my favorite things, which is a growth mindset. So you guys have probably heard the term growth versus fixed mindset. A lot of people maybe that you follow on podcasts and stuff like that talk about that, but we'll get to that. So congratulations for just showing up to and being open-minded to listening to some Joe Schmo like me. So like Leah said, my husband and we actually just sold our company last week. So if you can imagine my brain, all the emotions involved and stuff, because we are very, very involved in our businesses, very tied to them, very emotionally involved with our members and everything like that. I've been in the fitness industry for 21 years. It's like pretty much all I know how to do. So finding Zaya was like a huge compliment to that for me. But anyway, every year in Anytime Fitness, we have annual conferences, just like Zaya does and stuff too. And a few years ago, we were in Louisville, Kentucky, and this one speaker just really spoke to me. I mean, he took me out of my hangover that I had that morning, because hopefully like Zaya, or like Anytime Fitness, Zaya knows how to party as well as, you know, teach people how to do cool stuff like we do. But that's where we were at in Louisville. We had a night of partying and then woke up to go to a guest speaker and stuff, and we're all hungover as shit and listening to this guy, and he just spoke to me. And I want to share, first and foremost, I hope you guys are ready to move your bodies just a little bit, because I want to share this really powerful exercise that he did with us. His name is Scott Greenberg. He's a motivational speaker. He teaches corporations how to basically teach their leaders about mindset and things like that, how to grow their businesses. But he was also involved with the Edible Arrangements franchise for a long time too. So Scott Greenberg, he defines mindset as the most distinguishing element in high performance. It's what enables us to clear our heads, make better decisions, and enhance our relationships. So if you think about that as a whole, there's a lot that we can kind of encompass into that. And we'll kind of break that down a little bit today too. But the exercise is, and I hope you all play along because it's really powerful. It just shows a lot about how your mentality and maybe some things that we tell ourselves can hold you back. So first things first, we're going to take your right finger and you're going to point straight at me. Okay, I can see some of you. I can see if you're doing it. And I hope some of you that don't have your video on, you're doing it too. Okay, so from here, we're going to rotate as far as you can go. Okay, you're just going to keep rotating. Go to your right. Go ahead and go for it now. Follow as far as you can go. Do your absolute best to go as far as you can go. Once you hit that point, remember how far you went. Okay? Okay. So now I want you to close your eyes. And I've experienced this, so I know exactly what you're thinking, like, oh my gosh, are you for real? This is how powerful your mind is. Close your eyeballs, okay? I'm watching you. Imagine yourself doing that same twist, okay? You can feel your body moving. You can feel your muscles activating. You can feel you twisting into this and surpassing that point that you have already hit, right? So think about it, manifest it. We're not twisting yet, but we're thinking about it, okay? I also want you to think about something that makes you very happy, okay? And some of you just smiled. I love it. I love it. You guys are like really into it. This is great. Okay, so now open up your eyes. Now again, we're gonna go. Point straight and go. As far as you can go, do your absolute best. Bam. Okay, I'm seeing, whoa. Like how much farther are a lot of you going? This was the point where I was like, okay, I'm gonna listen to this man this morning because this is what this is what we do to ourselves, especially maybe that first moment when we're not really feeling it and we're just like, okay, what is this exercise? But I asked you to do your best that very first time. So yeah, I got to ask you, like, was that your best? Or were we just kind of going through the motions? Or did that exercise of actually telling yourself and visualizing it, going further and surpassing that twisting point, did that work? I think it does. And I think that that's single-handedly how powerful your mind is. And if you think about all the times that we like do this to ourselves, how many times in business or in personal life or anything do we hold ourselves back just from telling ourselves or not telling ourselves little things? I can't tell you how many pep talks I have with myself throughout the day, just like, Amber, you can do this. Amber, stop. No, don't do that. And it's very powerful. But if you think about our Zaya businesses, when do we do this to ourselves? We probably do it when we want to be going live, right? In our pages, maybe we're nervous, or I don't look good, or I don't feel cute today, or I don't, my friends are going to think I'm dumb, or nobody's going to buy anything from me, or I don't know what to talk about, or I don't know what to do. You know, like, how often do we miss those opportunities because we're telling ourselves that we're not going to do a good job or something like that, when in fact, maybe if we did the opposite, like, no, I'm going to go on here and I'm going to crush it. I'm going to do great. I'm going to be myself, and I'm going to show up for my friends and my coworkers and whatever else, because these people love you already just for you. They would not be your friends. They would not be your customers. They would not be coming to your page if they weren't coming there for you and your true authentic self anyways. So it's best to go on there, give yourself a little pep talk and go, I'm going to crush this. I'm going to do this. And if I don't, who fucking cares? Really? Like, who cares? You can try again tomorrow or later or whatever. It's not a huge deal. Okay. So think about that. You know, where we do this to ourselves, going live, maybe reaching out to customers. Maybe you're a little apprehensive, like, oh, she's going to think I'm annoying, or, oh, I don't want to, you know, I don't want to bother her or anything like that. You know, stop telling yourself that shit. Just go in it with a true, genuine, authentic need to help and wanting to help people find these clothing items that make us feel like we are beautiful. Like, you know, that's why you're in this business. So stop doubting yourself. Stop telling yourself all this stupid shit, because it's really holding us back. And I say this from experience because I did this in the very beginning. It took me a long time to actually like get going with this business. You can ask Leah. She probably was like, what are you doing? Like, when are you going to rank advance and do anything else here? So, let's see. Sorry, I got my little notes over here. And did you know, I wrote this down because I wanted to share this with you. Your brain grows when you learn something new. We probably should have learned that like in kindergarten, and that's why our brains have been growing since then. But I know it's scary to learn something new and can be frustrating and everything else. But then again, that's when your brain grows. When you learn something new, and possibly when you try something new, you obviously learn from it and your brain grows. So the more your brain grows, the better you're going to be. So a little backstory about me too. I'm a personal trainer. I have been for about 8 years. And I literally teach people through exercise that they're capable of way more than you think. Like, raise your hand, or, you know, give me a comment about when you have been able to do something, you know, when you totally crushed something that you didn't think you were able to do, like an exercise, anything, like anything in life. I'm sure we all have that experience. And that's what I get to do in the fitness industry, is to remind people of what they're capable of and how they sit there and tell themselves, like, I can't do this, I can't do this. Let's take the box jump. Perfect example. Has anybody tried a box jump? Or has anybody been mortified to try the box jump because there's something, yes, there's something so paralyzed. I love that people are like putting their videos on to tell me yes. There's something like so paralyzing about this stupid exercise, right? But the second that you land it and the second that you do it, done. You're never turning back. So, you know, think about that. Any other time you're kind of stuck in that moment, like just think about the box jump. Even if you've never attempted one or tried one, box jumps. Like it's wild. This is like the exercise that I love teaching people how to do, because it literally, you could have the most confident person in the world and you line them up on that box jump and they're like, no. And they take flight and they get hurt from fear. They don't get hurt from the exercise or the box because I teach them how to do it properly. They are hurt from fear because they cannot commit. The second that they go for it, they pull back and they change their mind about it. Even though they originally were going to go for it, they change their mind and that fear creeps in and it's all over. And we do that so much to ourselves in our business and in our daily lives, in motherhood, in our relationships and everything else. So I'm here to remind you to stop doing that to yourself because you're paralyzing yourself. Okay. Something I always tell my clients when I see them like slowing down or something, you know, like not giving it their all in the workout when I know they've got it in them, I tell them like, you better change your mind. Like you have got to change your mind about this workout right now because it's going to be long and it's going to suck. And the second that you tell them, change your mind, it's as simple as that. Change your mind, change your thoughts about how you feel about this, and boom, it just increases like crazy. It's so wild, you guys. The mind is such a crazy thing. So, you know, some things to think about is like, you get to do this. Like you get to do this business. What a wonderful thing to get to be able to do, to share this brand with other men and women and children. Like you get to do this, and yes, you can. Okay, think about that. So let's get into a little bit of the growth versus fixed mindset. You guys have probably heard this, but some of my favorite descriptions of a growth versus fixed. And let me tell you, I used to have a fixed mindset, like even the first 5-6 years into my business. You know how hard it is to run a business with your husband? It's pretty tough. But, and it took us a little while to figure this out, but he has got a major growth mindset. Like everything this man does is he's looking for the opportunity to grow. He's looking, what can I learn from this and this and this? And I had that fixed mindset. I was like, why change it if it's not broken? Why would we, do that? This works really well. Why would we want to enhance that or anything like that? And so I understand that it's literally as simple as just taking a step back and giving yourself a little pep talk and trying to just kind of separate the pieces to make sense of it all, instead of jumping to that fixed mindset of you're a victim and I don't like change and this and that. So growth mindset, you're looking for opportunities to improve. Okay. Like rewatch those live videos and see how many times you said, or see, how many times you touched your face like I just did, and see, ways that you can improve that experience and try it next time. Fixed mindset people will go, oh, that was good. That was whatever. That's good enough. So I'll just keep doing that. No big deal. Nobody bought anything, but I'll just keep doing the same thing. Growth mindset is a problem solver. So you've got solutions to everything, right? Not just a problem pointer outer like a fixed mindset person is. I can't stand problem pointer outers. And this is what I have always told my staff. Do not come to me with a problem unless you also have a solution to it. Like that is growth mindset, is finding those solutions and stuff. Growth mindset, growing through challenges. So, you're stuck in your business, your VIP is not popping, you're just not feeling it. Maybe you want to stop doing it. This is a challenge in your life that you can grow from. Being in the trenches and just kind of being in your lull, instead of giving up, like that's a fixed mindset, is just to kind of give up and go, you know what, I'm done. Like nobody's buying anything, even though in your heart that there's a lot more that you can be doing to grow your business and to keep it going and brighten it back up. Growth mindset, there's always something to learn. So like I said, thanks for showing up tonight, because even if it's a sentence that I said, if there's something that you can learn from it, I love having conversations with people. I love everything. Like you can never stop learning from anybody. Solutions to problems. Sam, yes. Let's solve the mystery. Make it to a game. I love that. I love that very much. I hope you guys are reading the chat. Fixed mindset. What is this crap? Like, instead of always something to learn, a person with a fixed mindset goes, what is this? Like, whatever. I don't have time for this. Yes, you do. Like, nobody likes a fixed mindset. It's not fun. It's a very deep, dark, yucky place to be. Okay, last one, growth mindset. It's up to you. It's 100% up to you, especially in this business. Like, you've got your upline and you've got your friends and everything else, but it's up to you. This is your business and how you run it and how you grow it and everything else. So growth mindset is, it's on me that this business failed or didn't fail. It's not up to my upline. It's not up to anybody else. We all have, and I love Jesse's talk from last time too. We all have the same 24 hours in the day. We all have the access to Google and all the information and all the pages and stuff like that. So it's 100% up to you. And as long as you know that and take that responsibility, that's where you're going to soar. And fixed mindset is, well, it's someone's fault. Somebody didn't send me the link. Somebody didn't like show me how to do this or something else like that. So think about that. Okay. And how does this affect our business? Because this is important. If you think about it, customers are not going to want to return to you. Like, if you don't have, you know, if you're not there with a growth mindset and you've got this like victim mentality, like, oh, nobody's buying anything, or, you know, I don't know where to start. I don't know what to do. You know, just get out there and do something. Like, just try and figure it out. Like, your customers are not going to return, and there's not going to be any growth in your business. No one's going to want to join under you. Okay. If you don't have a growth mindset and show leadership qualities that you're going to be able to lead them and help them. And one thing to think about is people have enough stress in their lives, including ourselves. Everybody's got stress, but if you let Zaya be something fun for you, and kind of be their escape, and just make it fun, they're gonna want to keep coming back. They won't recommend you, right? Like, if you've got this like boring, blah, blah, like rude mindset, they're not going to recommend you to their friends and stuff. And that's how we do not grow. So I just think about, like, who would you rather come across, you know, somebody enthusiastic, somebody that works really hard, that doesn't complain about anything, or do you want somebody that's just like, here, do you want these black leggings or what? So this kind of leads me to my next point, and kind of piggybacking off of what Jesse was talking about last week too, is, you know, I get to dedicate a lot more time to Zaya now because we're, you know, retired temporarily. But before, I was juggling these businesses and my team grew super fast. I was like, I don't know what to do. So now I've got some more time to dedicate to this, but there was always this, like, I used to live a life full of guilt. And that's a mindset thing too, is because guilt is like one of the most negative emotions that we can have ever. And if you think about it, when you feel guilty about something, it just like affects your whole body, like everything. And so constantly feeling guilty about something, I'm not spending enough time with my kids, my business isn't growing, my husband doesn't have enough time with me, I don't know about this, I haven't spent enough time in prayer, I haven't done this, I haven't done that. Like, you're constantly chasing this like guilt feeling. Well, also at one of our conferences, this guy named Dan Thurman came on, and this guy was like he came in like riding a unicycle, like juggling a bunch of balls. And we were like, what the hell is this guy doing? And he gave this speech he wrote a book called Off Balance on Purpose. And this book changed my life, you guys, changed my life. And last week, or the last call, we talked a lot about balance, which is awesome. Jesse had some amazing things to say. But my thing with balance is that actually achievable? Like, how do you actually ever achieve balance? And if you know that you won't ever achieve straight up balance, then you're going to be all right. Just knowing that you've got these, let's say you've got 4 or 5 juggling balls. It's work, it's life, it's spirituality, it's relationships, and it's your business. And you're juggling all these balls all the time. As long as you know that sometimes you're going to have to toss one up a little bit higher so you can focus on the other ones a little bit better, right? That other one's going to come back, and then you're going to toss another one up. Let's say family life, right? That one's going to go away for a little bit while you juggle the rest of these. But then next time it's going to be Zaya that goes up and goes away for a little bit while you juggle the rest of this stuff. That resonated with me so much that has been on my brain every single day when I feel like overwhelmed and when I feel like I can't, like I'm not doing a good enough job. Then those your mindset kind of goes negative, right? Like, I just can't do this. You feel overwhelmed. I'm not doing a good job in this and that and this and that. So keep that in mind, you guys. It's called off balance on purpose. You're embracing the uncertainty that sometimes you just spend a little bit more time on your Zaya business. Sometimes you just spend a little bit more time with your family than you do anything else. Sometimes you spend a little bit more time with your spirituality than anything else. The book is amazing, you guys. His podcast, like, he's a wonderful guy, Dan Thurman. Guilt is that crazy feeling. Can't handle it. So we have the why, we have the what's, and we have all that stuff, but how do we execute this? Like, and I love that Jessie talked about her non-negotiables, because I have my own non-negotiables that I have mastered over, I would say, at least the last 3 years, you guys. It's been a really tough 3 years of our lives, like in our business and everything too. And it has forced me to master these non-negotiables, because that is what helps me stay on track with my mindset. And that's what's important to me. And you have to think about what's the most important to you. Like, if my mind is right, I'm unstoppable. And when I'm unstoppable, my husband really likes me, and then everything else goes really well. So things that kind of help me lift the fog and non-negotiables is exercising. I have set a minimum of 3 times a week, but really it's about 5. And that's just it. My husband knows, he feels like if I skip a day or something like that and I start getting cranky or anything like that, he's like, go work out. I'm like, okay, I'll be right back. So exercise, you guys, it is so important. If you don't know how to exercise, I'm not kidding. Call me, message me, get on YouTube, get yourself a little, some DVDs, get a Peloton, hire a trainer, like whatever the hell you need to do to figure out how to exercise. Go for a walk. If you can walk, go for a walk. I'm not kidding. Like, exercise is the most important thing ever that you can do for yourself consistently. Plan. So make plans for yourself, make plans for your business, make plans for your errands, just plan your day, plan your week, plan your month. Okay. Micro and macro planning, but be flexible. Okay. Off balance on purpose. Ooh, shit, something came up that's an emergency that we have to plug in here. Okay. Don't beat yourself up if all this stuff doesn't get done too. So plan, but be flexible, because a lot of times when we have that plan, we can get a hell of a lot more shit done. Okay. And not feel guilty and not be running around like chickens with their heads cut off, because all these things lead to this guilt, and all these things lead to all these negative emotions and can turn into that fixed mindset, because then you go, screw it, it's just all so hard. But it's not. Like, you can do this, I promise. Drinking water, at least half of your body weight in ounces per day. When you drink that much water, it leaves basically no time to be drinking any other crap. I'm not saying I don't drink alcohol. I'm not saying I don't have a soda from time to time. I'm not saying that. But when you're drinking that much water, you have that much less time to put any other crap into your body that does not feed your brain right. Okay? So drink at least half of your body weight in ounces of water per day. Yes, you can. You will pee a lot and it feels great. Okay? Also, you pee out body fat, so there's a plus. Okay? Yeah, I hear you. We're eating mostly healthy. Okay? For the most part, we're eating healthy. When your brain is hydrated, when your organs are hydrated, when you're eating healthy and feeding your body properly, guess what happens to your mind? It works. and it feels really, really good. And you can make great decisions. You can make quick decisions. You feel confident. Confidence wins every time, you guys. Pray, meditate, journal, whatever that looks like for you. Pray, meditate, journal daily. Have hobbies for only you. It could be once a month, twice a year, whatever, but have a hobby just for you. Mine is horseback riding. It's my time to just kind of separate from everything else. It's my jam. Maybe it's Zaya for you, but I would strongly recommend that it's something other than your business that you rely on for a hobby. Practice gratitude as much as possible, like in every little thing. Like, wow, I almost just got in a car accident and that could have gotten really, really bad. Thank you for not allowing me to get in this car accident. Like every little random thing that you can think of, practice gratitude, because that sends endorphins and that helps you make better decisions and stuff too. It just makes you a better overall, happier person. And set goals, evaluate yourself. Like, how am I doing? How do I think I'm doing? How do I think I can improve? That growth mindset, right? And be honest with yourself. And then my last and final closing mark, my favorite one, is stop making excuses. Just stop. Just stop, because that's a fixed mindset and that's a negative emotion. You are allowing yourself to get out of it when you could be growing through it, and when you could be becoming a better person, becoming stronger in every which way. Just stop making it, just own it and go, okay, I fucked up. Like, I'm going to be better next time. Don't make excuses for why you did it or why you didn't or anything like that. Just stop. That's a very fixed mindset. And that's my stuff. So yay. Stop making excuses.
Amber, you're hitting me at a very critical time in my life.
Oh no.
I'm gonna text you after this and be like, we just made some major decisions that I've been like on the bubble about, which we kind of talked about. So my husband's probably gonna be calling you and be like, well.
Oh my gosh, I love this. You cannot be unhappy when you're practicing gratitude. Yep. Yeah. I love that. It's so true.
I read that not long ago, and it was it's actually a good book I can recommend too. It's the Dalai Lama and somebody else, but it's called The Book of Joy. And it's like, if you are in a moment where you're feeling unhappy, like think of something you're grateful for. You literally cannot be both at the same time. But Amber, that was incredible. And it's so interesting because oftentimes when you think about Zaya and your business, you're like, man, I need like a call that I can walk away and implement something that's going to make me $1 tomorrow, improve my ROI, all these things, right? That you want to, like, how can I book another party? How can I, but at the core of all of it is this, like, this exists everywhere within your business, and without it, nothing else matters. And I have learned that the hard way a lot of times, but like everything you said, I have like pages of notes here, Amber, is so spot on, because you can't do any of it without this foundation. Not saying that it has to be perfect, right? But you're talking about like juggling these balls, right? And like, I think I've come a long way, but I'm like, man, that's so true, because this past weekend, there's some other things my husband and I are looking at, just like totally unrelated, looking at for our like investments and stuff like that. And this weekend, we were like really into it, and we kind of disconnected from stuff, and we were in a place where I wasn't getting reception. And on Sunday night, I was like, oh my gosh, for 2 days, I was not connected. Like, and I had this guilt feeling of not texting everybody back right away. I had like 74 text messages, and I had this terrible guilt feeling. And he's like, Leah, like, that's okay. And you just reiterated it. Like, you do need grace. And sometimes we go like, to be such a high performer, you expect that everything does have to be balanced and perfect, and it's not going to be. And I didn't expect that from you tonight, but that was one of the most powerful things that I took away was accepting that, right?
I'm telling you, it changed my life when I heard that. That was like probably 4 years ago at a conference, and I was like struggling so hard with like trying to make sure everything was perfect all the time. And I remember just laying my head down at night, just not feeling fulfilled. And I'm just like, I'm just running around like a chicken with my head cut off, trying to make sure everything is so perfect all the time. And like, I was working way too hard. Like I was working way too hard. Like you need to work smarter and like free yourself from that guilt. And yeah, like with you, like nothing blew up, right? Everything's still going to be there just fine. Everything's running just fine. Nothing blew up.
Yeah. Right.
And I love balance. Like I love the idea of like balance. And I think that that's where everybody kind of strives to get that kind of balance and stuff, and not to hijack that conversation that from a couple weeks ago. But I think that knowing that and releasing that from your mind and from your body can allow you to have a better mindset about stuff, and allow you to really have that growth mindset instead of that, because you start to resent things and you just start to think negative thoughts and stuff like that. And that shit is like just like a tornado that will suck you in. And so being able to just kind of release that from your brain is awesome.
Absolutely. And like you said, freeing to not feel like you have to show up perfectly in every single area. Like it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
Like, it's totally going to be okay. Yeah. And it's interesting. For everybody, it's different. Like for everybody, you got to figure out what that is. And that's a good exercise, is to maybe like figure out what is that feeling. For a long time for me, like it was my kids, right? Like I decided to stay at home, and then I was like, well, I can't get a babysitter because like I'm supposed to be here. I meant to be here. And now like I started probably like 4 months ago on Wednesdays, I have a babysitter for 4 hours in the morning, and I'm like, whoa.
Game changer. Yeah.
Yeah. And like, I don't feel, and that's just me personally, right? Like that was just my thing. And when you do allow yourself that, it does change things a lot. Do you guys have questions? Does anybody have questions or comments or want to share like where you're at, or like what your challenge is, or what you feel like you do well? Or are you guys all just kind of like, I need to go sleep on this for a little bit and soak it all in? Any questions, you guys? I feel like Shell is like, I just need to like go lay down and listen to that again and just, oh, hey, Kaden. Okay, well, if you guys have questions, like Amber said, I'm sure she would be willing to talk about any of this with you, and walk through any of it. And even the movement thing. I remember when I reached out to you and I was like, oh my gosh, I joined Orange Theory because it's like down the street from my house, and it has changed my life. And now I'm pregnant again. And now it's like just taking walks and doing like yoga. And honest to God, it still changes my business.
Yes. Because then you're energized, and instead of feeling like it's like a thing that you have to do, it's like a fun thing that you want to do, that you want to show up for. Like people feed off of your energy. I mean, every single time I go live, I get a freaking order, and I'm like, okay, I can't be going live all day long, but.
Or it's like when we voice message, like I know if I have a voice message from Amber, I'm going to like laugh a little during it. I'm going to smile the whole time, and I'm going to drop a hell yeah. Like I know
there's a lot of cussing in there. Yeah.
Every single time I know that's going to happen. And it's just the best. Like it's just the best. But to your point about energy being contagious, that's 100%.
Jessica, yay. Yeah, it's my time to de-stress away from life, make me better. Yep. And make people better. Like how fun is it when our customers get their, new leggings, and, they send you pictures and they're just so happy. It's like the best job ever, you guys. I literally can compare it to like personal training and just helping these people achieve and overcome things that they, didn't allow themselves to do. I just had a customer, you guys, that has been a client of mine for 10 years. And she's a size 20. and she has always been in the background. Every single Zaya party that she's been invited to, she ends up buying the hostess stuff instead of buying anything for herself. Well, she finally, after a year and a half that I've been a rep, she finally bought something for herself and was obsessed. Like, she was like, I cannot believe the quality. Like, I don't know what I was thinking. I never thought that I'd be able to fit into this. And I feel so good. I feel great. It makes me want to work harder. Like, that is game changer, you guys. We have a direct impact on people's confidence and just like improving the quality of their lives. Who would have thought that a pair of leggings or a sports bra could do that? And like, you are directly in charge of doing that. That's that gratefulness that I speak of. Like, I lay down at night and just go, oh my gosh, like, I cannot believe that I get to help people feel good about themselves with clothing. Like, it's wild.
Jessica saved me. Oh, Jess Baker, this one. Oh. See, like, you guys, that is like the coolest thing, and and you know what? You're probably doing it for somebody else, and that's like the power of this. When you really, take it for what it is and like believe in like what you're doing and the impact, like that's incredible. Like, that's incredible. And Amber, I remember, I don't know if it's the same woman, but when we had your party that eventually you joined from, there was a woman in your party who reached out to me and said, I want to buy Amber something.
That's her. That was her.
Oh my gosh.
Yep. It's so cool. Now she's like, and it's her birthday month, so I'm going to spoil her. I'm going to buy her a couple stuff or a couple things. So yeah, it's pretty neat what we get to do, you guys.
Make it right.
Just get your mind right, okay? Get your mind right. That's what I tell everybody before a workout. You better get your mind right, because it's going to suck if you don't. So, and it's up to you. Go drink your water. Go eat your protein. Stop making excuses.
I feel like
I get it.
Like probably a mini if it's going to be every day, like a mini Amber right here on my shoulder. Just kind of like living here. So when I'm
sure you want to eat that,
do this, or like, I don't know if this is a good idea, or like, you're just right there and you're like, get your mind right. And I'm like, okay,
get your mind right.
Just do it. It's like, or can we get like one of those things where it was like, when the commercials, what was that red button? What did it say?
Oh yeah, the Staples button, right?
Yeah.
Is that what you're talking about? Yeah.
Borden button that says, like, you just push this says get your mind right. I'm totally gonna look into that. And everybody on this call,
we need this.
Yes, we'll do a giveaway. You guys will be like, I know what the Borden button is. Okay, I can let you guys go. I'm gonna